You can spend months trying to understand someone's intentions. Or you can watch them for 10 seconds and learn everything you need to know. If you want to protect your mind and relationships, subscribe now. This channel teaches psychology in a simple, powerful way. Manipulators rarely introduce themselves with harmful actions. They reveal themselves through tiny behaviors your brain notices, but can't yet explain. And if you stay until the end of this video, you'll learn the exact psychological cues that expose manipulation instantly, often before they ever say a single harmful word. 1. The first 10 seconds tell the truth. Most people believe manipulation happens slowly, like a long game that unfolds over time. But psychologists know the most revealing moment is immediate. In the first 10 seconds, a manipulative person performs a mental scan of you. They're evaluating 3 things: your openness, your boundaries, your emotional availability. The first thing they do is match your energy. They mirror your tone, your posture, your warmth. This isn't empathy. It's imitation. They're not connecting, they're trying to get past your defenses. And this happens fast. That's why being too familiar too quickly is a red flag. Next comes something even subtler: micro-expressions. A quick smirk, a raised eyebrow, an intense stare that doesn't fit the moment. You don't always see it. You feel it. It's the look of someone measuring you, not meeting you. Then comes boundary testing disguised as friendliness. Using your name repeatedly. Giving an overly warm compliment. Leaning into your personal space too early. The goal is simple. How much space will you allow me to take? Here's the key psychological truth. You don't need a checklist to spot manipulation. You need to watch for mismatch. Warm words with empty eyes. Compliments with jaw tension. Laughter that sounds rehearsed. Interest without sincerity. Your nervous system notices mismatch before your mind does. If you feel confused, unsettled, or overly observed in the first 10 seconds, that's not paranoia. That's perception. 2. Why manipulators act this way. Manipulation isn't random. It follows a psychological blueprint. Most manipulators don't see themselves as villains. They see themselves as survivors. At the core is emotional instability. They struggle to regulate their own feelings. So they try to regulate yours. Instead of calming themselves, they manage people. Another key trait is low self-worth combined with high social intelligence. They understand people deeply, but don't believe they'll be accepted without control. So they manipulate connection instead of forming it naturally. There's also selective empathy. They can read emotions with precision, but they use that skill for advantage, not compassion. That's why they know exactly what to say, and exactly when to say it. And here's an important insight. Manipulators don't look for weak people. They look for open people. People who listen deeply, give benefit of the doubt, lead with kindness, want understanding instead of conflict. These are strengths, not flaws. But in the wrong hands, they become entry points. 3. When words and energy don't match. To spot manipulation quickly, stop listening to words and start watching emotional contradictions. Manipulators say the right things, but they don't feel right. The body always leaks intention. A compliment with impatient eyes. An apology with defensive tone. Laughter with tense shoulders. Watch how they react when attention shifts away from them. The smile drops too fast. The posture stiffens. They scan for control. You may notice emotional push-pull. Warmth, distance, warmth again. This isn't confusion. It's strategy. Another sign is boundary confusion. They offer help you didn't ask for, so they can later use guilt. They overshare personal stories, so you feel pressure to match vulnerability. Here's the simplest rule. Healthy people make you feel relaxed. Manipulative people make you feel responsible. If seconds into meeting someone you feel the need to manage their emotions, that's not connection. That's a warning. 4. How manipulators measure your boundaries. Manipulators don't guess. They test. First comes micro-disrespect. Interruptions. Talking over you. Dismissing small opinions. They're watching. Will you correct me? If you don't, they read it as permission. Then comes temperature shifts. Overly warm, then suddenly cold. If you rush to fix the change, they know they can control you emotionally. They also use performative listening. They nod, respond on cue, but miss the meaning of what you said. That's listening to influence, not to understand. And the biggest test? What happens when you say no? If someone reacts with guilt, irritation, or coldness. They weren't interested in you. They were interested in control. 5. Why manipulators target certain people. Manipulators don't target weak people. They target emotionally generous people. People who apologize quickly, explain themselves deeply, avoid conflict, see potential in others. Because generosity is easier to exploit than dominance. They don't need to push you down. They just need you to keep lifting them up. They rely on your compassion to excuse inconsistency, ignore red flags, and give second chances. But once you see this clearly, their power disappears. Because manipulation survives on confusion, not clarity. 6. How to protect yourself without conflict. You don't need to expose or confront a manipulator. The strongest defense is removing the reward. Slow your reactions. Calm pauses disrupt their rhythm. Use short boundaries. Tonight doesn't work for me. No emotion. No explanation. Observe instead of absorbing. Watch behavior. Don't personalize it. Drop the guilt response. You are not responsible for their emotions. Stay emotionally neutral. Reaction is fuel. Calm is protection. And most importantly, trust early discomfort. If your chest tightens, your shoulders tense, or your energy feels drained, listen. The body recognizes manipulation before the mind finds words. Spotting a manipulative person in 10 seconds isn't paranoia. It's awareness. The eyes, the tone, the boundary tests, the emotional mismatches. Once you see them, manipulators lose power instantly. If this helped you see more clearly, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs protection, not persuasion.